Autumn season, it is the season where we start to want to cover our neck, our back, we start to layer up. And why that is, it's because we're starting to experience qualities of cold, dry, light, okay? Temperatures are cooling off, our skin is getting drier, so we need to moisturize more, and we're feeling lighter, a little dried up. Look at the leaves, they're flying, they're lighter. So we start to have cracks and pops in our joints, and that's that dry, light quality that follows that first cold in the fall. And we can remediate, balance those qualities so we don't become, ill in the fall with intense, flare-ups of arthritis, or head cold, neck cold, back cold. Around this time, October, 80% of Americans will complain of back pain. That's when it starts, the problem begins. And if we don't take steps to remediate it now, then it'll accumulate. And in the winter, it will turn into a bigger problem. I remember my dad not being able to get up from his bed to open the door. Okay, so it could really so it could send us straight to bed and keep us in bed, for months at a time. So as a yogi, if you practice yoga, we are very sustainable, so we self-source those qualities within ourselves. And where are they within ourselves? We counter dryness by adding moisture, humidity, hydration, and we self-hydrate internally. And I'll show you where we go in the body where there's more water, where the reservoir in our body that holds water, most water, is pelvis. That's why they call it pelvic bowl. All the muscles that operate here, the viscera, they're smooth muscles. They're wet, they're smooth. They can only work if they're moving smoothly. So there's our water. So we go to the pelvis to access the water. We counter the light quality by getting heavier. Really take up ground. Grab the earth with your legs, fire up your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, and by firing up those big muscles on your body, we are depositing or self-sourcing the quality of hot to counter the quality of cold, right? So yes, so that's where we go, and firing up those muscles, they fire, they create heat in the body. So immediately with one movement or with one area of focus in movement, we go to get exactly what we need. To get warm, right? To get hydrated, maybe even break a little glimmer of sweat, and to get heavier, closer to the ground, really embrace gravity. And in Child of Prana method, we do it with accelerated technique, whole, and I'll show you how. You can start your practice right here at home, out on the deck if it's a nice autumn day, to enter into those hip strengthening moves, simply by giving yourself a little yoga facial. Start with a tired face but clean, and give yourself a little routine, a little inversion to bring the back of blood flow back to the face, and to take some weight off the hips and legs before we start to work with them. Get your legs up the wall. Get your butt on a bolster. Get your jammies on. And I am starting with my favorite beauty balm. And I'm literally gonna give myself a facial. standing on the wall to activate the pelvic floor, perineum. And now I'm ready to head out. This is takra with warm water and cumin for the health of the digestive fire of my bone tissue, because of my age, entering the age when we start to lose bone density, and also with the season where the trees are also losing their density. The leaves are getting lighter, everything gets lighter, colder, and more dry, and that's how we feel in our bodies. So warm water with takra specifically for me, but with cumin. Cumin promotes digestion for my specific type, and so I'm basically and takra is a yogurt, a dairy-based beverage, but it is mostly calcium because it's dairy. So I'm basically just what it needs, more calcium, and to be able to retain it, digest it, assimilate it. So very cool logic. But onto those lunches, I'm gonna work with the pole as well. I'm also gonna grab some of this ashwagandha Bala oil and put it on my small of the back right here. Why? Because I'll be working with the pole, I'll be pulling up my clothes, and it's autumn, and this is when a back easily catches cold from a chilly wind, such as we have in October. So ideally this oil would be warmed up, but I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna warm it up between my hands. Just about a good quarter size amount. And that way my hands get the strength of it. Bala means strength. It's an herb, a name of an Ayurvedic herb. And ashwagandha is another Ayurvedic herb, like a brother to Bala, that promotes the strength of the nervous system and connective tissue and your joints. Okay, so it works both on a physical and on a mental level. So it's very strengthening for the mind and stabilizing for it, because another quality of Vata dosha is mobile. It's always moving. Leaves are flying, thoughts are flying, fears are flying, information is flying. There's so much informational pressure on our minds and our nervous system right now that we get anxious. We all suffer from anxiety. So I'm using this oil for that reason on my lower back, because it's vulnerable and it's my sciatica joint. People complain of sciatica usually this time of year, and also for my hands that will be working. Let's go. And now let's build the hips. Well, I'm lucky enough to live near nature where I can find warmth and a little bit of sunshine to counter the cold quality in my body, and find some moisture near a body of water to counter the quality of dryness in my body in October, and to counter the quality of light, mobile, very flighty with the quality of earthy, heavy, by practicing on bare earth and working with the earth and water element in my body, which both are heavy in the pelvic bowl, and using the heavy muscles of the legs. wide stance for working from the navel down, starting with the waist. Twisting from side to side. Compressing the colon, which is one of the seats of Vata dosha in the body. Warming up our core and our lower back. Bringing the movement a little lower into the hips now. Lunging from side to side. A little wider stance. Expand the movement. Deepen the lunge. And hold. That's one way of warming up the hips and strengthening both the pelvic floor, legs, and lower back, creating the warm, liquid, and heavy qualities in the body, in our body, that are what we need more of in the fall, mid-October or later. Very cool logic. And now the same practice, but with the pole for added weight and impact. Take up some ground, grab the earth with your legs and pull it in towards you. Hold on to it. Know where you stand. And gradually widen the stance as your capacity builds up. Easy swings. Keeping it close to the core, even the elbows close to my pelvic bowl with all the water, so as not to splash it all around. Gradually widen the stance. Take up more ground. And if you like, increase breath capacity, doubling it. Always close the door. Other side. Widen stance. Widen breath. Close the door. Always end on an even note and right where we started, pelvis. I hope you enjoyed the video and perhaps maybe try some movement that you saw on your own. But we explore this method in great depth in the Child of Prana Mastermind program, where we train to be that efficient